Sahih al-Bukhari 1261. Narrated Ibn Sirin. Amatiyah, an Ansari woman who gave the pledge of allegiance to the Prophet, came to Basra to visit her son, but she could not find him. She narrated to us, "The Prophet came to us while we were giving bath to his dead daughter. He said, 'Wash her 3 times, 5 times or more, if you think it necessary, with water and sidr, and last of all put camphor, and when you finish, notify me.'" Amatiyah added, "After finishing, we informed him and he gave us his waist sheet and told us to shroud her in it and did not say more than that." Sahih al-Bukhari 1262. Narrated Amatiyah. We entwined the hair of the dead daughter of the Prophet into 3 braids. Waki said that Sufyan said, 1 braid was entwined in front and the other 2 were entwined on the sides of the head. Sahih al-Bukhari 1263. Narrated Amatiyah. One of the daughters of the Prophet expired and he came to us and said, "Wash her with sidr, water, for odd number of times, i.e. 3, 5 or more, if you think it necessary, and in the last, put camphor or some camphor on her, and when you finish, notify me." So when we finished we informed him. He gave his waist sheet to us to shroud her. We entwined the hair of the deceased girl in 3 braids and made them fall at her back. Sahih al-Bukhari 1264. Narrated Aisha. Allah's Messenger was shrouded in 3 Yemenite white suhulia, pieces of cloth, of cotton, and in them there was neither a shirt nor a turban. Sahih al-Bukhari 1265. Narrated Ibn Abbas. While a man was riding his mount in Arafat, he fell down from it, his mount, and broke his neck, and died. The Prophet said, "Wash him with water and sidr and shroud him in 2 pieces of cloth, and neither perfume him, nor cover his head, for he will be resurrected on the day of resurrection saying, Labaik, i.e. like a pilgrim." Sahih al-Bukhari 1266. Narrated Ibn Abbas. While a man was at Arafat, for Hajj, with Allah's Messenger, the fell down from his mount and broke his neck, and died. So Allah's Messenger said, "Wash him with water and sidr and shroud him in 2 pieces of cloth and neither perfume him nor cover his head, for Allah will resurrect him on the day of resurrection and he will be saying Labaik." Sahih al-Bukhari 1267. Narrated Ibn Abbas. A man was killed by his camel while we were with the Prophet, and he was a Muhrim. So the Prophet said, "Wash him with water and sidr and shroud him in 2 pieces of cloth and neither perfume him nor cover his head, for Allah will resurrect him on the day of resurrection and he will be saying Labaik." Sahih al-Bukhari 1268. Narrated Ibn Abbas. A man fell from his mount and died while he was with the Prophet at Arafat. The Prophet said, "Wash him with water and sidr and shroud him in 2 pieces of cloth and neither perfume him nor cover his head, for he will be resurrected on the day of resurrection saying, Labaik. Sahih al-Bukhari 1269. Narrated Ibn Umar. When Abdullah bin Ubay, the chief of hypocrites, died, his son came to the Prophet and said, "O Allah's Messenger, please give me your shirt to shroud him in it, offer his funeral prayer and ask for Allah's forgiveness for him." So Allah's Messenger, P.B.U.H, gave his shirt to him and said, "Inform me when the funeral is ready, so that I may offer the funeral prayer." So he informed him, and when the Prophet intended to offer the funeral prayer, Umar took hold of his hand and said, "Has Allah not forbidden you to offer the funeral prayer for the hypocrites?" The Prophet said, "I have been given the choice, for Allah says, it does not avail, whether you, O Muhammad, ask forgiveness for them, hypocrites, or do not ask for forgiveness for them. Even though you ask for their forgiveness 70 times, Allah will not forgive them." 9.80 So the Prophet offered the funeral prayer, and on that the revelation came, "And never, O Muhammad, pray funeral prayer for any of them, i.e. hypocrites, that dies." 9.84 Sahih al-Bukhari 1270. Narrated Jabir. The Prophet came to the grave of Abdullah bin Ubay after his body was buried. The body was brought out, and then the Prophet put his saliva over the body and clothed it in his shirt.